It starts with silence. Not the kind that feels empty, but the kind that fills you up. Out here, in the middle of nowhere, that silence becomes a song, a rhythm of nature that takes over, slowly, completely. The forest stretches out like a living thing, breathing with you, pulling you deeper into its arms. This is where it begins. The journey, the disconnect, the escape. IK camping. The idea was simple. Pack light, leave noise behind, go where the world forgets to look. We didn't know exactly where we'd end up. That was part of the magic. A folded map, a compass we'd half forgotten how to use, and the kind of excitement you can't fake. The drive was long, winding through sharp mountain roads and pine-covered trails. We laughed about everything and nothing, half running. On coffee, half on adrenaline, somewhere between towns and trails. The signal on our phones died out. We smiled. That was the point. As we reached the forest edge, it felt like entering another time. No reception, no clocks, just us, our gear, and the wild. The trees welcomed us without words, towering high with branches that whispered above. Setting up camp was our first mission. We found a small clearing beside a stream, flat enough to pitch tents, close enough to water, far enough from the trail to feel hidden. The sound of the stream was constant, like background music, steady and calming. I unfolded my tent like I'd done it 100 times, even though this was only the third. My hands moved with a kind of muscle memory, pegging the corners, adjusting the poles, tightening the lines. It felt right, natural. Around me, the others were doing the same. No instructions, no complaints, just silent cooperation. As the tent stood in quiet symmetry, we gathered firewood. Dry branches, fallen bark, anything that crackled under pressure. It wasn't hard. The forest offered freely. By dusk, we had a fire, not a roaring one, but enough to warm our hands and cook a meal. Dinner was simple, beans, rice, and laughter. There's something about eating outside that makes everything taste better. Maybe it's the hunger, maybe it's the company. Maybe it's just that food, like everything else out here, feels earned. Night came quickly in the woods. Stars showed up like they were hiding all day, waiting for us to notice. We lay back on sleeping mats and stared up. No streetlights, no buildings, just sky. That kind of sky humbles you. It makes you feel small, in the best possible way. Someone pointed out a constellation. Someone else made up their own. We passed around a flask, traded stories, and let the fire crackle between us. No one reached for a phone. No one needed to. Later, when sleep finally pulled us in, I lay in my tent listening. The forest never really sleeps. Owls called out in the distance. Branches shifted. The stream kept talking. But it was comforting, like nature was standing guard. Morning light filtered through the trees like gold. Soft, warm, and slow. We emerged from our tents like creatures from another world, groggy but smiling. Coffee was the first priority. There's something sacred about that first mug. Boiled over a small burner, mixed strong, sipped slowly. The second day was about exploring. We packed small day bags and followed a trail that barely looked like one. Sometimes we moved in single file. Sometimes we walked in silence. We joked around like kids. The forest made space for all of it. We found a hidden waterfall around noon. It's tucked between two ridges, spilling over mossy rocks. The sound was thunderous up close, but the mist it made was soft on our skin. We sat. Nearby, shoes off, feet dipped in freezing water, letting time dissolve. That's what IK camping became, a way to lose track of time, of tasks, of shoulds and musts. Out here, nothing demanded urgency. Every minute felt like a choice, and that kind of freedom, ... It's addictive. Forest taught us things we didn't expect to learn. It's like how much we rely on noise to feel okay. Like how powerful it is to sit in stillness. It's like how people open up when you take away the walls. We talked about dreams we hadn't voiced before. It's about fears we thought were behind us. About things we never knew we wanted. And all of it felt safe. Like the trees were listening but wouldn't judge. That night, the fire burned brighter. Maybe we fed it better. Maybe it just liked us more. cooked potatoes in foil and shared them, steaming hot. There was laughter, deep and real. There were moments of quiet, too, the kind that fills your chest and makes you realize, this is what peace feels like. At one point, I stepped away, just a few meters from the fire. I looked up again. The stars were even clearer that night. I think I stood there for 15 minutes, not moving, not thinking, just being. The next morning, we knew it was our last. You can feel it when a trip is ending, a kind of heaviness in the air. We took our time packing. No one rushed. We folded tents slowly, tied knots carefully. We looked around like we were trying to memorize every tree. Before we left, we sat in a circle. No agenda, no speech. Just sat there, letting the moment imprint. Someone said we should do this more. Everyone agreed, but no one needed to say it. The walk back was quiet, not sad, just thoughtful. The forest watched us leave, and I swear it felt like it was saying goodbye. Not in a dramatic way, but like an old friend who knows you'll return. And maybe that's the magic of IK camping. It's not just about being in the wild. It's about remembering who you are when the noise fades. About connecting with people in a way that goes deeper than surface. About realizing that you don't need much, a fire, a stream, a sky full of stars to feel whole. Back in the city, things moved fast again. Horns, screens, deadlines. But something had shifted. There was a slowness inside me that I didn't want to let go of, stillness I could return to, even when the world pulled me in every direction. Sometimes I sit with that memory, the firelight, the cold stream, the soft crunch of leaves. I think about how alive I felt out there. Distracted. Not busy, just that there, and I know, deep down, I'll go back. Maybe to the same forest, maybe to another. Because once you've tasted that kind of quiet, you can't forget it. Once you've heard the world without engines, once you've seen the stars without a filter, you carry it with you. That's what IK camping means to me. Not a trip, not a weekend escape, but a reminder that nature doesn't need us. But we desperately, quietly, truly need it. So when the world gets loud, when life feels too fast, I remember that trail, that campfire, that sky. And I promise myself I'll return soon. Because some parts of us can only be found in the forest and out there. I found mine.